Hey, what's up, y'all? And welcome back to the Vibes with Step podcast. It's been a long time since I did a video on this series, but I've been, the way I work with this, I just been trying to find certain things to talk about before I jump back into this. But I think this this topic, I think it's a real good one. But if you want to see the whole, Vibes with Step podcast, I'll drop a link in the description. Go listen to what I got to say. I done had a guest on there, my boy Matt. I mean, it's been a while since I did a little podcast with him. But if y'all want to listen to some of the little, conversations we had over time, I'll drop a link for that. But yeah, let's talk about bad drivers. Man, listen, I've been driving since I was 16. You know what I'm saying? That's when I got my restricted license. And then I got my real license at 18. And it was a blessing, being able to step into that domain of driving. You know what I'm saying? Because I take it serious. I respect driving. It's one of the best things I do. You know what I'm saying? I am personally, I ain't trying to flodge, but I think I'm the best driver I know. But I also know my limits when it come to driving. And that's what come with, experience with it. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them things where, yeah, over time, I've been driving for I'm 29. I've been driving for 13 years. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I done got into some accidents. I done messed up and did some dumb shit on the road. You know what I'm saying? I done did some dumb things that I'm not proud of. I'm not about to put myself out there and go into specifics about what I did. But I done did some crazy stuff. But the things I see people do on the road today is scary. You feel me? Because it scared me for my life. It made me worry about my life. I could be as safe as I want to be, but it's always going to be some dumbass out there that's going to mess it up for other people. Like, I'm over here watching this, this little video of people. It's crazy to me the things people do on the road. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this. Dude just coming back hitting the car. You know what I'm saying? Who does that? Who does that? Who just comes back and forth? And he did this again before he pulled off and was on some, you know what? I think they got the message. I think it's time to, I think it's time to get out of here. See, at first when he did it, I thought maybe he was doing it because maybe it was something wrong with his car. But my thing is, if it's something wrong with your car, why you going after the same car? You know what I'm saying? Unless your car got some smart technology in it, but for some reason the smart technology went rogue and saw that one car. It's like a bull seeing red. That car saw that white car is red and it went crazy on that car. But no, clearly road rage was a play in that, and he got upset with them people. And you see the edge of his tire, it's got a flat. And I'm guessing that was from, he probably hit a nail, but it's probably from hitting that damn car too much. But my thing is, it's a point. I mean, road rage been a thing for a long time. I done been in the car when I was a kid. My parents was, when we was going down south, and my mama got mad. She was in the passenger seat. She got mad at some woman. I don't know. I forgot what the hell happened. But I remember that situation like it was yesterday. I forgot why it happened, but I remember what happened. My mama was talking shit. And the lady, she was a blonde chick in this tan car. You know what I'm saying? It was a small car, and it was tan. My mama was talking shit to her. They was lined up with each other. My mama was talking shit. And all of a sudden, the blonde lady, she had her shades on. She was like, that's all she did. And then kept driving. My mama got mad and shit like that. And my thing is, road rage is a big issue these days. You got to think, that was back in the 90s when that happened. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, these days, you could get shot over doing something like that to somebody. You flick somebody off, you talk shit to somebody, you honk your horn because somebody cut you off or speed up. And I don't like that. I don't like that. They're like, how hard is it? Listen, I get annoyed by people on the road, but I don't road rage. I don't even honk my horn. You know how uncomfortable it is for me to think about honking my horn? I don't even do that. Whenever somebody could cut me off and do some dumb shit, I play it cool because I understand there's other people on the road, and I'll just slow down and adjust based on what they doing. But I always watch, and that's what you got to do. You got to pay attention. It's not just you and the person doing the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful and mind the people around you, the pedestrians walking. You know what I'm saying? The dogs and people walking their dogs. The other cars around you. Even if it ain't no other cars around you, You got to be careful in case it might be some other car coming up on you. Because it's always going to be a dumbass person on the road, man. Listen, I done seen the best of them. I done seen the worst of them. But I done been around some real crazy drivers. I remember I was down the road. It was about, I don't know, 10 minutes away from where I live. And this was a few years ago. You feel me? And I was in the car and it was late night. It was probably about 9:30. I mean, that ain't really late, but it was about 9:30. And I was on the road and I was coming up at this stoplight. And it was time for me to turn. You know what I'm saying? And I was on my way to the crib. All of a sudden, this big black truck came speeding through. You know what I'm saying? And it was a red light on they end. Red black truck just comes speeding through. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking to myself, what if I would have caught that out of no? Like, what if I wouldn't have caught that and I was getting ready to turn? I would have got hit by that because they wasn't too far off from me. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of stuff right there scared me. Because like I said, I could be as safe as I want to be, but that's not going to stop fate. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to stop some dumb driver, some reckless driver from messing me up. Making me skid off the road, flipping me or some crazy shit like that and taking me out, taking they self out, taking other people out. It's not going to stop. And it's a scary thing because you know what I think, though? And I'm only talking about the U.S. I don't know how it is in other countries. I don't even know how it is in other states. But I know in Florida, they need to come up with some kind of, driver's test requirement at certain ages. Like you need to have a different test for certain ages. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get your restricted license at 16, maybe even 15. I don't know about that. But I remember I got mine at 16. I think it should be something like that. You get your license when you're young, and then maybe at 21, you got to take some follow-up license, driver's test to make sure you understand what's really going on out here. Because, that's the age you drink. You know what I'm saying? And I think young people should take something like that, especially if they're going to be driving with alcohol in their system. Because, whether you think it's wrong or not, whether you think it's a big deal or not, college kids going to do it. Young adults gonna do it. Adults gonna do it. It's gonna be some people out here that's gonna drink and drive regardless. Even if they think they ain't drunk, it's always gonna be somebody out here drinking and driving. So I think if you're gonna do it, I think you need to have some kind of judgment test. Not saying, hey, come take this test and drink before you come here. No. But some kind of reaction test to make people understand what's going on the road when they drunk or when they not drunk. They might be a little high. They might have a little buzz, or they might be sober as they can be, but have some kind of reaction test. You know what I'm saying? It's like these websites be having these hearing tests. I took a hearing test. Why not have a driving test? Why not follow people up with what they already know? If you gonna be a dumbass driver, then you need to have a test to test your damn skills. And if you're not capable of passing these tests, then you need to go ahead and get your license took. And you can't get mad because it's your fault for being stupid and impatient. And they need to have a patience test. Force people to be patient on the road. You know how many people I done been on the road with that was impatient, so they'll sit there and cut me off, or they'll sit there and cut somebody else off. And you know what really pissed me off? Impatient people who can't even put on a blinker when they trying to cut somebody off. At least have the decency to sit there and, you know what I'm saying, put your blink on so you at least, reminding people that you about to do some real stupid shit. So then when they do it, at least we can fall back. But for somebody, you know what I'm saying, just like I was going to see my dad. I wish I recorded that, but then again, I don't really use my phone when I'm driving. It's irresponsible, you feel me? But my thing is I was driving on the road and I was going to see my dad, and I was coming up on this stoplight. All of a sudden, this truck came flying by me. I go 5. I go 5 over. Not 5. Imagine going 5 miles an hour. But no, I was going 5 over. I always go 5 over depending on the weather. When it's a good day, I go 5 over. When it's rainy, I usually go the speed limit. You know what I'm saying? Or I go 5 under. But this truck just came speeding by me. They had to be going at least 60 or 65. The light turned red. Mind you, I wasn't even close to the red light. They wasn't even close to the red light. I could probably say we was about, I don't know. I'm not gonna say it was over 20 feet, but it was under, let's say it was under 100 feet. You know what I'm saying? Away from that red light. I don't know, judge in your mind what you think 100 feet is. They just speeding trying to hit that light. It's already red, and I can't exaggerate. I don't exaggerate when I tell stories, but they was just speeding, and you would think, man, I'm slowing down, because it's a red light, but they just kept going, and then they passed right through the red light. Some people could sit there and try to justify it and say, well, maybe they was gonna be late. Maybe they had somewhere to be. It don't matter when you got other lives around you. If you got somebody in the car with you, don't be dumb. You know what I'm saying? Don't be reckless on the road. Don't be trying to sit there and cut your time in half with the risk of cutting other people's lives short because you got somewhere to be. I think it's real childish. I think it's real disrespectful to, you know what I'm saying, mess somebody else's life up all because, look at this. No blinker. You know what I'm saying? Oh God, that's what I'm talking about, bro. No blinker. Oh, and you know what? Speaking of the whole test thing, 21. I think that should be a follow-up test. You feel me? Obviously, some people gonna miss it, but it's all right. I think also they need to have something that maybe 30 years old, and then maybe in your 40s, and then maybe in your 50s or 60s. You know what I'm saying? Because it be some old people out here. It be old retired people driving these sports cars. I done seen old people in Chargers. I done seen old people in Camaros. I done seen old people in Challengers. Man, I done seen old people in all kinds of cars. And my thing is, if it's going to be older people, and I ain't talking 60. I'm talking 80 and 90. Like dead ass. I can't exaggerate. You know what I'm saying? I done seen old people in Mustangs. But my thing is, if you going to be doing stuff like that at that age, I don't care how paired you is with your senses. I don't care how up there you think you is. Everybody got a limit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't what you used to be. You feel me? Even if you 50 or 60, you're not what you used to be. So I think people need to have a test, a real good, thorough test with driving. And I think you need to get tested. You know what I'm saying? I think people need to get tested at them ages. And if you're not up to par, then you get your license took. You feel me? And then maybe what it is you get your license took for a little bit of time, maybe 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, and then you take it again. And if you pass, then you get your license back. But if you fail, then you don't get your license back at all. We got way too many people, dying over car accidents. You know what I'm saying? I just read a story, a couple days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, about these teenagers. I forgot how many it was. I think 3 or 4 of them. It was, I think, nighttime or something like that. They died in a car accident. You know what I'm saying? I read another one where somebody hit 2 teenagers. Like it ain't no joke these days with this driving shit. I done been on the road, you know what I'm saying, with alcohol in my system. I ain't proud of it. You know, it is what it is. That was a long time ago. I mean, these days I don't drink. I stopped drinking in 2016. One of the best decisions of my life. And, it's to a point where I can't even be around people that drink at all. It ain't my thing, because I realized how it was with me. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't no aggressive drinker, you feel me? But I was young and drinking, and I realized that kind of shit not attractive, and I try to stay away from shit like that. But I also done been around people who, I done seen drunk drivers. I done seen videos of drunk drivers. Like, that shit ain't cute. It make me think about that episode of SpongeBob. Y'all know which one I'm talking about, when Miss Puff passed that nigga anyway. Cause she knew he was a bad driver. And she was like, listen, if it mean I could get his little crazy ass out my life, I will pass him. Biggest mistake she ever made. And what's crazy is his parents went and got him a boat because of that, and they was happy and they was celebrating. And then it clicked in her mind, oh man, I forgot who I was dealing with, because he was a bad driver, real horrible driver. SpongeBob was horrible. And then what made it worse with his situation is he was nervous behind the wheel. It's like, if you gonna be nervous behind the wheel, then you most def don't need to be driving. You feel me? People who get jittery fingers, people who, oh man. And what about people that be on their phone? People that I can't stand that because my mom do that. You know what I'm saying? I like one thing I don't do these days is get rides. I drive myself. I rarely let people drive me anywhere. I hate getting rides. You know what I'm saying? It's at a point where, like, whenever my dad, come through and he want to go somewhere, I'll drive his truck and he'll sit in the passenger seat, or he might sit in the back. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I usually drive it's like I'm his chauffeur. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I don't want to drive, sometimes I do. But for the most part, I usually drive his truck. You know what I'm saying? But like I really don't get rides because I don't really trust people these days. It's like my mom. Whenever I'm in a car with her, it's rare. You know what I'm saying? But whenever I'm in a car with her, I think the last time I went with her to drive anywhere when she was driving was last Thanksgiving 2022. You know what I'm saying? And she was driving and she was trying to get on her fucking phone. And I'm thinking to myself, what is wrong with you? What I usually do is if I see her go to pick her phone up, I'll take it out her hand. Don't snatch it or nothing. I just grab her phone and put it down. That's what you got to do with people. You got to train people to stay off their phones. You know what I'm saying? Because if they not getting it in their head off rip, then let them know by taking their phone and just putting it down. But some people you got to take that chance with, because I'm in this car with you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be trying to sit there and put my life at risk because you got the short attention span. You feel me? Because that's all that is. It's people that's got to be doing something. So they think, well, hey, while I'm on this boring road, let me go ahead and pick my phone up and be looking at it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not safe. That ain't cool. I done been on the road, a few times in my life where I actually saw somebody on their phone. Matter of fact, I was on my way home and I was passing this gas station. And this white truck, couldn't forget it. This white truck was in the left lane. I had got over because the road I was in, the right hand lane, it stopped. And you got to turn right or you not going straight. So what I do on that road is I'll get over. If somebody in front of me, I'll speed up and get right in front of them. My thing is I got over when the light turned green, got over, started driving. He was still in front of me. But what I noticed is that he was swerving over slow to the right lane. And I'm like, what the hell wrong with this dude? And then I had to kind of, let him know. I ain't honk my horn, but I had to kind of let him know, like, bro, what is you doing? Because he was kind of like, he was in front of me a little bit, but it was like, I was going faster than him, obviously, and I was starting to catch up to get in front of him. And then he started swerving over. And I was swerving a little bit too, not like crazy, because you got to have self-control. Don't let somebody else's dumb mistakes take you off the road, because then if you crash, you going to look like you in the wrong. I kind of caught myself a little bit. I swerved a little bit, just to let him know, like, hey, you got me doing this over here. And then he caught himself, so then I sped up a little bit more, and then I got over. And then what I noticed before I got over, he was on his phone. And that's what I'm talking about. People act like they gotta be on these so bad. They act like they gotta be on these little phones. That's what's wrong with society today. And I get it, man. Phones been around for a while. It ain't nothing new. But it's a thing where these days social media is taking over people's minds to where they gotta be on something. They gotta be active on their phone. They gotta know what the latest news is. They gotta know about the latest trends and TikTok and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that crazy stuff. They gotta know. So what they do when they on the road, they pick their phone up. Even if it's to text somebody or try to make a phone call, they trying to be on their phone. And my thing is, dude, the only time I excuse using your phone when you driving is when you playing music through your phone. Because it don't take much to tap a fucking button. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I ain't talking about picking your phone up and just scrolling and looking through your songs and stuff like that. Have it on shuffle. And if you need to switch a song, press the arrow over. And my hair all in my face. I got like this long hair off one of my locks that's just in my nose. And that's why y'all keep seeing me mess with my nose. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's one of them things where people got to be on their phones on the road. And I'm like, dude, put it down and wait until you get home or wherever you trying to go. Or wait until you get to a stoplight. How about that? How hard is it to stop at a stop sign or a stoplight This whole wanting to check your phone on the road, that's how people get caught up and get killed. And it don't set in until it's too late. And then they want to play victim if you honk your horn, you know what I'm saying? Or if you mess around and cut them off or try to speed up and get in front of them, you know, or try to let them know. Then they want to cuss at you and do this and, you know what I'm saying, get mad at you and all that stuff. But they the ones at fault. And that's what worried me about Florida, because Florida passed, they about to get ready to pass this damn thing in July. It's the 30th right now, you know what I'm saying, of June. And they about to pass this law where people can openly carry. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know about open carry, but they can carry a gun, you know, with no gun license. And that, to me, that's scary. That's a topic for another day. But that right there is scary to me. I done had a few little talks about that with my dad. And he for it. I'm for it, but I'm worried about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not gonna be pretty. Having a bunch of random people with no training, no mental. You know how sensitive people is these days. One wrong look, you get shot. You know what I'm saying? You cut somebody off in line, you get shot. You say something wrong to somebody, you get shot. So imagine being on the road and you honk your horn at somebody, or you cut them off. You know what I'm saying? Or you taking too long at a light. You know? Or what if they hit your car, you get out, they might think something up. They shoot you. Like, you never know what the deal is. Somebody could walk up to your car. I read an article a few weeks ago about somebody getting in the wrong car on accident and they got shot in the car. That's scary. Not paying attention to what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? How you get in the wrong car and get shot. You feel me? So my thing is, it's gotta, I don't know, people gotta pay attention. Too many phones, short attention span, always looking around but not looking around. They not paying attention to what they looking at. You feel me? And that's what worried me about Florida, because I live in Florida. You know what I'm saying? And when this law passed, it's gonna be more people carrying guns. And I worry about being on the road. I mean, me, I really don't honk the horn. I don't honk the horn. You know what I'm saying? I done had a time or two where somebody that was in the passenger seat honked the horn for me. When I see somebody doing some dumb stuff, or I see something going on, you know how people will see something going on the road and they'll slow down to watch. Me, I keep driving. You know, so I ain't perfect. Sometimes I'll look, but I don't slow down. I keep going the same speed. I might glance and then I keep driving. But people who legit slow down to look and be nosy, like, what's going on over there? You know, they might see a cop car and they think it's some shit going on. They might see a car wreck. It's like, dude, like, come on, just keep driving. Mind your business. That's the best way you're going to stay alive, is if you mind your business. Follow the rules on the road and just keep driving. I was a kid. I think I was about 12 or 11. And this dude, well, I was probably 10, I forgot. But yeah, this dude came up. My mom was driving her car, and we stopped at this stoplight. And it was some apartments right next to us. Like, you could get out and walk right there. And we was right by the entrance. All of a sudden, this dude on a motorcycle came riding up, and he turned right in there. And then all of a sudden, this cop, probably about 30 seconds after that, a cop came up driving behind. Well, he came up right next to us. We put our window down, and he was like, hey, I'm looking for a guy on a motorcycle. Did you see him? And Moms told him he went right in there. And then he drove in there and got him. It was kind of, I forgot my feeling. I'm not going to say it was scary, but it was unexpected. Because even to this day, I think to myself, I wonder if that cop caught him. You know what I'm saying? I wonder what that dude did to even be put in that situation. You know, because you know how people is these days. You know, they get spooked on the road. You know, some people dead ass try to run away from cops. Not like run on foot, but, you know, when I say run away, I mean try to run away when they in their car. They try to drive away from the cop, trying to get away. And you cause accidents doing that dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? You do dumb stuff like that, trying to, instead of stopping because you know you broke the law. Some people might have drugs on them. Some people probably just get spooked in that situation and they don't know how to handle it because they probably ain't never been in a situation like that. Or they probably driving a car that ain't theirs. Or they driving without a license, which I think is retarded. Why you doing that? I just think, hey, if you gonna break the law, stop when you break the law. You feel me? Don't make it worse. Cause shoot, maybe the cop might let you go on a misdemeanor. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't really know. I lost my license for 10 months, almost 10 months. Back in 2014, I lost my license. And that was one of them situations where I had alcohol in my system, and this cop stopped me and my best friend at the time. He stopped me. He told me, well, he asked me if I had been drinking, and I told him, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I ain't hesitate, because in my mind, it played over and over and over. Like, if I lie, because I could have got away. That's the thing. I wasn't drunk. The only reason he stopped me is because I was playing loud music. I had my windows down and I was playing loud music, and I was in a black Charger. So I was playing music. It was loud. I took about maybe 3 seconds before I answered him, but it felt like forever in my head. And I told him, yeah. And then he asked me to pull up in the parking lot, the parking lot across the street from the one I was in. So I parked, and then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, he told me to get out the car. Well, he didn't tell me to get out the car at that time. He came up on the passenger window. My boy was right there sitting in the passenger seat. Before the cop came up, I told my boy, dude, let me talk. I got this. Don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, dude was asking me questions. I was answering the questions. And then he asked me to get out. My boy tried to get out the car, and I told him, be cool. You know what I'm saying? Just chill. And it wasn't that my boy was nervous or nothing. I guess he was just trying to cooperate too. And so I got out the car, and then the cop called like 2 other cop cars. And then before I know it, it was probably about 3 or 4 cop cars out there. And I'm thinking, really? You need all this for me? Little old me? And so he was testing me. He did the whole like walking in a line thing, foot after foot. He did that on me. I passed. He did the pen thing. I passed. You know, he was putting the light in my eyes, trying to make sure I was good on that. I passed. But then he put the breathalyzer on me. I blew, and I went over my limit at the time because I wasn't 21 and I had a limit. So then what it was he took my license. And I was thankful for that. I didn't get arrested or nothing. And he just took my license. So then the next 9.5 months, I had to go without having a license. And it was some of the worst shit I went through because I couldn't go nowhere. I couldn't really do nothing, you know. And it taught me a lesson that, you know, I gotta, when I started driving again back in 2016, I cut off alcohol. I stopped drinking that next year in 2016. I couldn't forget it. You know what I'm saying? I stopped drinking in September 2016. And after that, no alcohol. And I'm proud of that, you know, because it made me realize I was being reckless. You know, and it's other things I could talk about as far as drinking, but I'm not going to do that. But I was being reckless, and I wasn't putting my life, my friend life, and other people's lives into consideration, you know. But that's all I really want people to, you know, understand these days. Not even just with drinking, but just driving in general, man. You gotta be mindful about what you do on the road. Cause if you let your damn, you know, your ego get ahead of you, you crash on some prideful shit, you let your damn emotions get the best of you, take somebody's life cause you got embarrassed or you got aggravated or upset, and now you got to do prison time cause you was on the road doing dumb shit, or you wasn't paying attention and you hit somebody, or you was drinking and driving off some drug and then you end up hitting somebody anyway. So people gotta chill, man. We got to have some kind of law passed in Florida that's, well, shit, as long as I'm here, because I really don't want to live here no more. I've been in Florida damn near my whole life. I done lived in other states, but I done pretty much been in Florida my whole life. I hate it here. I can't wait to leave here. When I'm gone, I'm not coming back. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's it for this podcast. I hope y'all had a good time. I've been talking for a little over 30 minutes. Yeah, man, these drivers out here crazy as hell. You feel me? And I know that some of that footage was in 2019. The shit I showed y'all, yeah, that was back in 2019. But that still don't make a difference because it's a lot worse. And you know the area I'm in, man, these drivers out of hand because I already live in a busy city, and it's real wild. Like people really don't care. They really don't care. They will cause hell on earth if it mean getting to their destination. They don't care. But that's it. If y'all want to listen to the whole podcast, the Vibes with Step podcast, I'll drop a link in the description. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this. Let me know if some of your little driving, you know, experiences, good and bad. It ain't got to be bad. Let me know if something that happened good. You know, hey, you a sports driver and you did a donut for the first time. Let me know. If you live in Florida, let me know what you think about the whole law being passed, making people take tests later on in life. I think it's a good idea if it ain't already being talked about. But that's it. Hope y'all had a good time, and thanks for watching.